Hello and welcome to Waadaplaya IPL 2022 auction previews, where today it is none other than the team from Namma Bangalore, Royal Challengers Bangalore. If you're an RCB fan, it has been a tough 14 years at the IPL with so many highs and lows. Probably more lows than highs, but credit to their fans, they've always been behind the team, and 2022 would be no different. Often their choices of retention and the auction table choices raise question marks. So, will they get it right this time? Time will tell us. And to discuss everything about RCB, I'm joined by Akash and Johnny. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
Absolutely thrilled, Sanjay. Looking forward to the auctions.
Absolutely. No prizes for guessing whom you would be supporting this year. You got everything matching with the RCB colors. Hopefully, they won't change that jersey this time. Well, Johnny, you're on our show for the first time. So, quick introduction and then.
All right. So I'm based out of Bangalore. My name is Johnny Paul. That's about me. And in terms of RCB, really from day one, once we had Dravid on, yes, from that day I've been really supporting RCB. Nothing really to do with being a Bangalorean, but
Okay.
more from being a Dravid fan and then moving on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Start with the biggest topic, and it all started with Virat Kohli giving up the captaincy for RCB. Then he went on to give up captaincy in T20s, got sacked in ODIs, and then gave up the captaincy for Test matches. From an RCB perspective, how big a loss would BK's captaincy be? Starting with you, Johnny.
So VK's captaincy could be a positive thing, but what I'm hearing from rumors is that he may be reinstated back because if they don't find somebody within the group to captain or in the auctions, I think he'll be back. But I don't know, with the workload that he has now, could be a better thing now. But then you never know. He has that unlucky favor on him. So though he plays well, but then that favor isn't in his stride.
And we've discussed it in the past. VK's tactically is not that great, but as a batter for RCB, he is invaluable. So whether he captains or not, in my personal opinion, it wouldn't make much difference. But him as a batter, opening number three, that'll be probably the key for RCB doing well.
Kohli at top or one down, preferably at top. He likes the spot in RCB, so probably he's going to open this year as well. So that is absolutely invaluable. His captaincy, I've agreed in the past as well that he's not tactically that great. As long as he was Indian captain, it was my duty to support him full fledged. But now that he's no longer an Indian captain, I think it's a good decision for him to step down from RCB captaincy as well. It's a no-brainer. You can't be a franchise captain once you've stepped down from an Indian captaincy. So that is a good thing. I think it's going to be a positive note for RCB. Probably they'll get a good captain in the auctions this time around, and we can see the 2016 Virat Kohli back this year.
Oh my God, almost 1,000 runs. That was an unbelievable year, and great year for Warner and SRH men as well that time. That was the closest they went to winning the title. Obviously, I think 2009 was it the
South
year
Africa.
in South
In South
Africa
Africa.
almost won that. But the team has come a long way. It'll be a different look team potentially because this is a big auction. So starting with the retentions, they have been doing reasonably well in the last couple of years, and the big Shaw, Glenn Maxwell, did phenomenally well for them last year. So obviously he's the one who's got retained along with Virat Kohli. Two obvious choices in my opinion. But Johnny, the third choice, they had few options there. Hershel Patel and Mohammed Siraj, probably that was the toss-up choice.
So Siraj, if you think about it, he has been an opener bowler very well, and also almost towards the end he's able to contain runs, especially Dre Russell. Oh, that really changed my perspective towards him. He's able to contain those runs towards the end of the overs, so that's been a good thing. But then Harshal Patel, 36 runs against Chennai. He just got really all over the place, really there. We really don't know. Really, he is really the best one to be out there. I think that could have been one of the reasons why Hassan and Manohar would have thought, okay, let's go back to Siraj, then really hold Herschel. But then I would have thought Chahal would have stayed, but the thought is that he wanted more money than they would have offered. So that
Yeah,
has been the thought.
the time for players to make as much money as they can. Obviously, then for 3 year period they're locked in until a big auction happens, and who knows whether a big auction happens or not. Arshal Patel, Akash, he got hammered for 30 odd runs. Jadeja, and the rumors are that he wants to go to CSK. So it will be suited if matches are in the Chepauk.
What we hear from right now is that the matches will be held in Mumbai, most likely. But if it is a 3 year strategy, then yeah, the checkbox pitches might suit him well. But it would be a dream for any player, not only Hershel Patel for that matter, to play under Dhoni, play with Dhoni, and to be under his guidance is something which everybody would like to do. So it's not a brainer. It's no brainer that Chahal and Hershel and other folks as well want to go under Dhoni. But again, auction doesn't work that way. So who bids for you the best, I think they'll come back to that particular team. But I like the fact that they went for Siraj ahead of Hershel, because Siraj is the bowler whom they have groomed from the last 3-4 years. He was an absolute nervous bowler at the death. We still remember the match wherein Dhoni tongued him here and there in 2017, if I'm not wrong. Post that, I think he's come back strongly. He's now a fine opening bowler, like how Johnny mentioned, and he's improved his death skills as well. And the fact that we have retained already one Indian bowler, fast bowler in our retention, means that we can go for one more Indian fast bowler in the auction, which would make the bowling look much more stronger in the perspective, rather than how it was previously, when it used to be either a Siraj or any one particular Indian bowler, trying to hold the bowling strategy for Bangalore.
No prize for guessing who the biggest rivals are for RCB. Chennai has already come up in this discussion twice. So, and any RCB fan doesn't forget what happens against Chennai. Looking forward to captaincy. Obviously, as you mentioned, Akash, sorry, Johnny, you mentioned potentially DK might get the captaincy back. But I think they will go out scouting for a new captain. Shreyas Iyer, the rumors are, and the sources, quote unquote, they are saying they'll go hard for Shreyas Iyer. Johnny, one is how fit Shreyas Iyer would be to get in the mix along with Virat Kohli, and there would be more teams who would go after him as well. So Shreyas Iyer is an obvious potential choice. David Warner, maybe?
Shreyas is a choice, but then there's going to be other teams also really vying for him, especially KKR. I'm not sure why they don't want to go with Morgan. He's taken them to the finals, but then they still want to scout for a new captain. But then with him, we really want to see how he's going to take the team forward. Shreyas Iyer, Punjab, absolutely, they are going to really bid for him as well, right? So we really don't know who's going to really bid for him. But I think RCB shouldn't be wasting money bidding and losing just because we have so much money, right? So I'm not a big fan of Shreyas because I know he's proved himself in Delhi, but then these one day matches and the series that just got over hasn't been that great for him. Yes, in India he's played well, but then at South Africa he hasn't. Not a big fan, but then if the think tank thinks that he's the guy to go for, I think we should be going along with them. But David Warner, if you think about proven potential captain, IPL winner for SRH, I think it would be great having him on the team. But I don't know if they're going to give him the captaincy as well, if he's really going to take that up. What I would think is that instead of them being, Ishan Kishan should be the guy who should be really picked up for that number one slot in the opening pair along with Virat Kohli. And I think that can change the whole equation.
Yeah, I personally think that Shreyas Iyer, obviously his stocks have gone down with his recent performances, etc. And he had an option, this is what we hear, to potentially captain Ahmedabad, but he probably maybe wanted more money, or I don't know, maybe wanted to go into different franchises. Franchises do reach out to players saying that we'll bid for you, etc. So, but once you're in the auction, you're at the auction table's mercy, basically. Whoever picks you up, whether they decide to make you a captain or not, is their decision. Akash, how do you see it? Who are potential captain options?
Okay, I'm not sure if everybody is going to agree to this, but I have a left field option, and I don't think it's a bad option either. You have Shreyas Iyer, who's going to go for at least 12 to 14 crores. You have a Warner who's going to go for 10 to 12 crores. 11 crores. Even Ishan Kishan, for that matter, will go high. Why don't we pick somebody at a lesser price and who's got a really good cricketing brain, which is somebody like Ajinkya Rahane. He's got a really good captaincy. He's a very good captaincy material. Send him up top at opening or one down, and then invest the same money in getting a good all rounder or a good fast bowler or a spinner for that matter, instead of wasting so much money just for a captaincy material. If you want excellent captain, Ajinkya is definitely one of them. Of course, his form been found wanting in the Test match cricket recently, but his recent SMA Trophy records show that he's got about 450s in the last 6 matches, so it's not that bad. So if you have put him in the right place, maybe opening on one down, he can play the anchor's role if needed. And captaincy wise, I think everybody knows he's pretty brilliant as well. So my choice would be Ajinkya Rahane for maybe 5 or 6 crores here and there. Invest the same amount which you were about to spend on Iyer or somebody in perhaps an all rounder or a fast bowler, perhaps.
I like Johnny's choice, although everyone would be looking for a wicketkeeper batter. I think Ishan Kishan would be the red hot one. I think Ishan Kishan would be a great captain. He's young, he's got captaincy experience as well. But who knows? I think it'll be a left field choice again. But he won't be coming cheap. To your point, Akash, what do we make of? Glenn Maxwell being a potential captain, because you've retained two very, very expensive players, and anyone who's retained more than two have got a captaincy, apart from Punjab, where they've decided not to name Mayank as a captain option. So, starting with you, Johnny, what do you think? Glenn Maxwell as captain?
He's done well in BBL, but then I don't know if his form will just dip if he's captain for RCB. That is the only back point at this point. But I think if he's really ready to take it up and really perform at the same level that he performed last year, I think we would be okay. But then if there's no if the form is going to dip, I'm sure he's going to be out of RCB then. So then again, people will start really trolling us saying that once you leave RCB, they are the great players out there.
Well. This time you haven't got a Sarfraz Khan retained, so at least at the retention table, you guys have done well. And we'll see what happens at the auction table. So, Akash, take me to what are the holes, what are the gaps they want to fill. I think they've got a decent all-rounder-ish. I would say I would rate Maxwell as an all-rounder in Indian pitches, although Wankhede might not be as good for him. They've got a decent fast bowler. They've got a brilliant Indian batter. So wicket keeper, spinning options, those are the areas you would want to fill.
I've always maintained that building a core is very important, and this particular mega auction, you're not doing it for 1 year; it's for 3 years. So always look out for players who are going to stand out for the next 3 years. So in that terms, I think we will definitely be looking out for somebody who's going to partner Siraj as a good fast bowler, along with that maybe a seaming all rounder perhaps. That way you have your 12 overs of good seaming overs out there. That should help, and then you can have one good spinner coming into place as well. Wicket keeper, I can still, I think we'll still adjust with it depending on the position, because you've got Maxwell and Kohli who can bat 1 and 4. So maybe somebody like a Bharat also can fit in at 3 or a 5 in that matter. So I wouldn't break my head for a wicket keeper personally, but a bowling all rounder and one more fast bowler, at least an Indian fast bowler, is a must for RCB, I believe.
And in terms of trying to get back players potentially, because in all fairness, the last couple of years they've done reasonably well. It's just that they haven't been able to do well in the knockout games and carry that form through. And playing away from Chennai, that doesn't suit all the teams. So, Johnny, do you think they will try and get maybe someone like a Washington Sundar back, KS Bharat back? Any thoughts on that?
Bharat, I think we should get him back. He's played good knocks for us. But then Washington Sundar, I think Chennai is going to bid for him big time this time, because he's really expressed that he wants to be playing for his home city. So that could be another problem for us. The the numbers is going to go up. It could be in, I think, two double crores, right? I would nearly 10 crores is what I would feel. But then don't think we should be wasting so much money on him because he's injury prone. Not Yes, he gets us wickets at the right time. He's helped us out, but then splurging money on him would be a bad idea. I would think that instead of him, maybe we have to just look at getting Hasranga back if we are not getting Chahal, because looks like Chahal is not too much interested in getting back to RCB. Um, Again, it's all about the thought, right? If you think that you're not going to play for this team, it's better you be out of that, right? Not being a team player, kinds. So maybe get Hasranga. The other thing that I would say about overseas players, maybe Bauma could be a good player whom we can really uh, think on, right? Because he's been one of the guys now at South Africa playing very well, right? And captaining also. I don't know if he's going to be the dark horse now for RCB, with AB is going to be on the table, right? So that's my thought. Let's see. And again, Josh Philippe and Tim David, I think we should get back. They are the ones. They haven't played much, but then they have the potential to just blast any team at any point of time.
Akash, this auction is going to be tricky for RCB. They only got 57 crores. I don't think they can afford to go more than 10 crores on any one player, because otherwise you'll literally have two or three players having 40-50% of the entire budget, and then you'd be trying to get local players who've not had much experience, and that might be a problem for RCB.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to mention the fact that RCB hasn't been great in the auction, at least in the last 2 years. But Mike Hassan and co have actually done a pretty good job in the last 2 years, and this is their first opportunity at a mega auction. So it'll be interesting to see how well they can perform. They've done well in the past 2 years, so I hope that they'll be able to do it this time around as well. Hopefully, they can get back somebody like a Shahbaz Nadeem. He's been very economical across domestic as well as for RCB. And when it comes to getting back players, he's one of them who will perhaps be keen to come back to RCB as well. He's done well in his limited opportunities as well. And with Chahal being there, he was never given a prominent role. And if Chahal is not coming back, then you never know. He could be someone, like how Shane Warne groomed Jadeja. So similarly, maybe Shahbaz Nadeem, sorry, not Shahbaz Nadeem, Shahbaz Ahmed can be the guy who can be, groomed for the future. But in terms of auction, I think RCB has always been, going after the players who are the flavor of the season, as my friend Vishak mentions. So Rassi Vander Dusen, I think he will be on top of the list for RCB this year, especially with AB perhaps in the scouting or the coaching staff. They will look for somebody like Rassi Vander Dusen for finishing the role. But he's not going to come easy. I think at least he's going to cost us good 10 crores.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how the auction dynamics work. And as you mentioned, Akash, none of the teams would afford to try and get any players who are more than 10 crores. Unlike a mini auction where you've got very little supply and huge demand, and people know what the first 11 is more or less. You will try and get players for as much money as you can. So Punjab will be obviously one of the teams who will try and get all the big players potentially, but who knows who RCB will be after. So two things. One is, give me one player you think RCB is definitely going to buy, and how much they'll buy it for. The most expensive player. Johnny, with you.
I think it's going to be Livingston. He's going to be the guy who I think RCB bid uh, big money. So thing is that he's suitable for any role. Either you give him opener, whether finisher, bowls off break and leg break, has good strike rate, and has a good average as well. I think he would be the guy. He should be around 12 crores.
Okay, Akash?
Well, I've got a couple of choices. If I were to think from an RCB think tank perspective, they'll definitely go for Deuce. And he will not come less than 10 CR anywhere. But one important player for me, which RCB should definitely look for, is Jason Holder. He is a multi-facet guy. He bowls at the top, he bowls at the depth, he can hit the long sixes as well. And at 6 or 7, he's perfectly suitable. So if he comes around 7 to 8 crores, I think he should be definitely looked at. But for any foreign player, I don't think RCB should go hell-bent above 10 crores for any foreign player for that matter.
Yeah, you almost have to build the team and then see who can captain it, rather than trying to pick a captain, go after him, and spend a lot of money and then have not much left with. And you said that they are going to finish top two.
I would say top three. Let's take it three.
So you still have the number three option left. Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah, because we've seen games where we've just lost by a whisker. Like last year, if Devdutt Padikkal could have stepped up, we would have been topping the table, and then things would have been different for us. So those kind of matches, I think we just give it away, and then really fight for in the knockout stages, saying that we just need to really step up the gas. So that's been our history. But I think 2016 was good for us. I think we should have really picked that year for us. But then, David Warner and team really changed that for us. Yeah.
yeah, who knows? This year might be the year where, again, Virat Kohli and Glenn Maxwell put up a show and see where the team goes. Akash, where are they finishing this year?
But all depends on for 12th and 13th. If they are able to pick up a good, bowling strength in these 2 days, then I don't see a reason why we can't finish top two. But if the bowling strength again becomes the same story as it has been in the last few years, then again the same thing which as Johnny mentioned, we do fizzle out in important matches. So wouldn't see them go past top four.
Well. At least this time, everyone's like very cautious, very guarded. Let's see where they finish, and maybe halfway through the tournament, you'll start saying they'll win the cup. But yeah, this is RCB. Obviously, we have a huge fan base for RCB, so we might end up doing another preview before the auction. Who knows what more information comes from the sources? But Johnny, Akash, this has been great. Thank you very much for all the insights and good luck with the auction for our viewers. We will be doing 2 days live sessions for the auctions on 12th and 13th, where pretty much I think after the auctions you will come to know which team looks the strongest, at least on paper, and then we will start building up to the huge 2022 tournament. If you haven't done so already, please do consider subscribing to our channel, and we look forward to having you back the next time. Till then, thank you very much, and thank you for watching. Thanks, Johnny, and thanks, Akash.
Thank you
Thanks,
guys.
Sanjay.
Stay safe.
Thank you.